Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Apologies for the lateness. There was no video and no sound on my device. So I had to restart everything, panic, but hopefully I'm here now. So if you can see me and hear me, give us a thumbs up, and then we'll crack on. Lindsay will be joining us. She's running late. She's probably watching. Okay, so Maylin saying hi. So that looks as though things are coming in. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Kim, for the thumbs up. Okay, let's crack on. Oh, Susie, twice in one day a mention. Top of the shop in pole position. Susie Pemberton, hello, fellow warriors from a bloody hot and humid Tennessee. Well, I have to say it's bloody hot here too. In France. Not that I'm going to be here very long. Tomorrow morning, up at 5:30 and on my way to Germany. Looking very much forward to that and meeting all of those new people that I haven't met before and reconnecting with people that I have. So it's going to be awesome. Indiana Pony, hello from warm and rainy. I'm not even something Holstein. I'm not even going to attempt. Hiya. Good to have you with us. Therese, hello from a dizzy North Sweden. Hi, Therese. Lovely to see you. So excited. I'll be getting more mud tiles for my paddock next week. Since I don't have much space, 300 square meters, I am setting up tracks with mud tiles to get my ponies to walk around. Anything to encourage movement is a bonus, isn't it? Movement is so key for horses. So well done. Michelle, howdy warriors from a hot and humid Michigan. So I take it it's hot in the States. Now, hold on a minute. In about a month, we're heading to the States. So we can have a little bit of a break in the weather would be nice. Having it warm would be good. Having it sweltering would be a challenge. Hi, Kay. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. Heather swimming back. Hi, Heather. Ulrika. Hi, preparing for the Germany workshop. Very good. Look forward to meeting you in person. Leaving tomorrow morning, a night's sleep in, visit to my mum, and Thursday go to Germany. Happy to meet other cult members. Yes. Be indoctrinated, maybe. Are you coming too, Susan? Excellent. It's going to be a party. Lindsay, evening cult member, 1027 present and correct. How do you know that you're number 1027, or have you just made that up? If you've had a look, then I'll be very impressed because I've not known that before. So I would probably end up being member number 2. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, everyone. Also getting ready for the Germany workshop. Netted round bale, full water tank, ragwort pulled, salt and mineral blocks, field check, friend notified. Now come prepare myself. Looking forward to seeing you, Jeanette. Oh, Eureka, pleased to meet you as well in person, Jeanette. Where in Germany is the workshop? Now it's Bernscheld. It's not far outside Cologne. Is where we're going. Yeah, tomorrow 5:30 I get up, leave at 6. Then I'm going to sort the horses out with my good lady wife, Then I'm going to Poitiers train station, then straight to Paris. Then I need a responsible adult to get me from one side of Paris to the other on the metro. And that's going to be Lindsay's daughter, Asha. She's my responsible adult. And then we go from Paris to the Cologne, and then hopefully meet up with a Lindsay and Timmy the other end at about 4:15, I think. Is that right, Liz?
Hello.
Hiya, you all right?
3:15, I think. We've managed to get in early. We were going to go in early, aren't we? To where we're staying, so that we can get back to the train station.
Ah, right. Okay. Cool.
And pick you up. God.
Yes. Don't forget to pick up. Otherwise, you'll be very lonely.
No, we won't forget to pick you up. We won't forget to pick you up. Okay. Hello, everyone.
So where did we get to? So
Sorry,
we're back
to
to Gail. So hello from a sunny and mild Minnesota. We've got lots of people from the States today.
Ooh.
Jeanette, me too. So that's to Eureka. Near Cologne, thank you. Everybody probably got the answers to that before I even got there. Oh, is that how they? Is Cologne how they? Is that how they spell it? Oh, didn't know that. Learn something every day. Hi, Tara. Again, haven't you got enough of me today already?
Every time, Gary, every time we go to a shop or a restaurant or anything, your brain thinks this is foreign because you're in Germany.
Yeah, oh, it's France.
I constantly say we for yes.
Yes,
and
I do exactly the same when I go back to the UK. I walk into a shop and say bonjour. And when you say thank you,
I went, oh, sorry,
merci, bonjour. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just habit.
Lots of hellos.
Hi, Malin, have you not had enough of me and all? So that's
have you had Malin today?
Well, Tara, Malin, Kirsty, and who was first? Oh, I've forgotten already. I'm going to have to look at my calendar now because I can't leave somebody out. Oh, Alicia. Of course it was. Alicia in Cornwall.
And are you sat with Flopsy with you?
Sorry?
Is Flopsy with you?
No, the two, nearly every night when I'm doing something for the school, I come over here and I sit on my own for a couple of hours.
And they're not there.
Supposed to be here with the cats and everything. They take the food and then they bugger off out. So I'm still here. They will come and join me one day. They will come and join me.
And they don't.
By the end of this session, you never know. There might be a cat in this vicinity in a minute.
And you'll be like, I've got to go now.
Right, where did I get to? Malin. Michelle says hi. Susie Pemberton says thumbs up. Hi, Kim. So this is thumbs up to make sure that everybody could hear me because I had some technical issues, so I was running late. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Becky. How's Ruby? Megan Triggs. Hi, Megan. Hi, Becky. Hello from New York.
Hello from New York.
Very cool.
Hello from Germany.
Heading that way in end of July.
Yeah, we are.
California is great right now because I was saying about lots of places in the States were having lots of heat. And we said that when we turn up, we would like it to be warm. We would like it to be pleasant, but we don't want it sweltering.
No, we're not too hot. No, it's hot.
Yeah, not too hot, please.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the legs will thaw far too quickly and get far too smelly.
Which reminds me, hang on a minute. Tim? Yeah. Can you go and get the leg?
Yeah. Is it in the car? It needs to go in the freezer. Have we got a freezer?
Yes, and there is a space for it. I think it will fit.
Oh, excellent, because it was a smaller leg.
So
Great. So when we go around and we go to Airbnbs or Booking.com, and then we've got body parts in the freezer. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? If only they knew.
We've been carrying around with us in the last few days.
I'm not sure if it's me or you, Linz, but I can't hear you. You're frozen. So I'm just going to crack on.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, you're back. We lost
me?
you for a second or two.
Can you see me? Can you see me?
I can see you.
Sorry,
and we can hear you.
I was just saying that I don't know. It's the internet. Good. It's the internet here. I don't know. But we've been carrying this leg around with us in your cool box, and we refroze it at Jennifer's. It didn't get frozen last night, so tonight it needs to be frozen. And the reason we've got a leg is because where we're going to do this workshop, we've never done this before, actually, have we? We've had the legs have been they've been supplied for us, of course, and they have been chopped off at the pastern. So we normally chop them off at the knee or the hock. So there's a big leg attached. And therefore, when I go to do the dissection on the Sunday, I've got a nice big leg and I can talk to you about all the tendons and ligaments and stuff. However, Garry had foresight and thought, well, you're not going to be able to do a dissection on a tiny little stump of a foot, of a leg. So we took a leg out of our freezer because, you know, that's the sort of thing you have in your freezer. And we've been traveling through Germany with it. So we're going to put it in the freezer tonight and freeze it. And then hopefully it won't be so pongy. It's starting to smell a little bit.
We'll have to take it out the day before the last day. Leave it in the cool box, and then it should be just right for
yeah, we'll have to freeze. We'll have to also freeze all the if you bring up all, are you going to go down?
Yeah.
Bring up all the things that we need to freeze for the cool box as well.
Tell them that we got stopped at the German border.
Oh yes!
Oh my God! If you had a sniffer dog and everything,
we really nearly wet our pants. We were literally saying as we were going through the German border for the second time, we were saying, because we'd nipped into France and come back through, and we were saying, God, if we get stopped, we'll probably get told off for carrying a leg. And God, this is going out public. I shouldn't be saying any of this. And literally as we said it, this guy waved, because Tim was driving, waved Tim in. And we were like, oh, shit. And so we drove in, and he came to the window, and Tim put the window down, and he said, Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Sprechen Sie Deutsch? And we went, no, English. And he went, why were you going so fast? And they stopped us because we were going too fast through the border.
No, we were just going the same speed.
Well, I mean, Tim's argument was we were going the same speed as everybody else, but they wouldn't have that. He sort of smirked when Tim said that.
And I said, well, how fast was I going? He went, I don't know.
Yeah, they couldn't tell us how fast, but they just knew we were going too fast. So then we had to give our passports over, and we were thinking, oh, God, please don't search the car. Please don't search the car. Please don't search the car. I don't know if we got into trouble or not. I don't know. But we'd have lost our leg, and we can't lose the leg. So it's been all over Germany and a bit of Switzerland and
bit back into France. It's well travelled, that leg.
Oh God! So he's just gone down. When it arrives, I'll quickly show you. It's in his black bin liner. I did a recording in the car earlier, but it's because the internet is so slow where we are. It's still not. I don't think it's loaded up yet.
I was going to say I listened to the one yesterday with Hyacinth and Richard. That made me laugh.
Hyacinth and Richard is still on the road.
The thing is that you can't say Hyacinth and Richard and not do the classic saying. So off you go. When she picks up the phone.
Well, you do it. You do the classic saying.
No, you've got to do it. It's a lady saying it. It won't be the same with me. Oh, no, she's blinking frozen. That's bloody typical, isn't it? So the phone rings, and there's this posh lady, and her name is Hyacinth Bucket. And everybody in the UK will know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was through a program called Keeping Up Appearances. So have a look at some clips on YouTube, and it will make you laugh out loud. And every time she answered the phone, because she was much above her station than she really was, and nobody was allowed to say Hyacinth Bucket or Mrs. Bucket. It was Bouquet. And then she would pick up the phone and she'd say, "The Bouquet residence, lady of the house speaking," and everybody would just fall about laughing. Go and watch it. If you're not familiar with it, go and watch it. It's yeah, very typical British English 80s TV. Okay, I think we've lost Lindsay again, so I'll just carry on with the messages. I have no idea what we're going to talk about tonight. So Michelle says 73 in California. So what would that be in centigrade or Celsius? No idea. It's been about 35 Celsius here today. Hello from Aberdeenshire. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Lydia, from a hot and humid northeastern Ontario. Can't win. Giant horseflies are out now. Horses hiding in the run shed. Oh, goodness. Horseflies are horrendous, aren't they? Absolutely the pits. They can jump on you. They can chomp into you. You don't feel it until it's too late, and then there's potentially a reaction. My body doesn't like horsefly bites. Garry is so blah blah. Garry something Holstein is in north of Germany, right at the Dutch border. Oh, interesting. I shall try and figure out how to say that properly. Okay, so Megan Triggs, please don't forget to remove said body part before you leave the Airbnb. Can only imagine the review of the next person that finds it. That's very funny. That's almost tempting, isn't it? For sure. Angie Medler, hi from Virginia. Too hot. I have to go and check the horses often. And Spritz Rosie, nearly heat stroke yesterday. Oh, goodness. It would be nice to have a break in the heat, wouldn't it? I'm not complaining, though. I did move to France for a reason, and because it was warmer. Oh, my God. Keeping Up Appearances is one of my all-time favourites. Isn't it just? And I have to say, Richard was a saint, I have to say. A saint. And another favourite of mine in that was Oslo. And he was Eddie in Coronation Street years ago. Now it's really showing my age. Angie Medler, 36 degrees today. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're averaging most days now. New to the channel, started barefoot transition 7 days ago. Oh, well done. I hope what you're seeing on YouTube, and I'm hoping that you're part of the Phoenix Way Path to Hoof Health Facebook group. Loads of information, loads of help in there. And if it's not from Lindsay or I, it will be from one of our pros or one of our amazing admin team. So if you're not in there already, please go and have a look. You just have to answer a few questions, agree to the group rules, and yeah, it'd be great for you to join us if you're not there already. And Gail, deer flies are god awful around here. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. You're absolutely right. All going well so far. He's stopped tripping. Oh, that's good. So are you trimming yourself? Have you got somebody else in? Have you got a barefoot trimmer? Have you got a sympathetic farrier? Great that you've taken the shoes off. And I would imagine that the tripping was relieved because the foot wasn't tipped forward as much or any more. That would be my guess. And also, when the shoes come off, they can feel the ground. Their proprioception is so improved. Oh, your gelding tested positive for Lyme. So is that recently? Sorry to hear that. Lyme's can be a right pain. And it's we did an interview with someone, now Dr. What was her name? Dr. Barb Fox, and she likes to use things holistic, but she's also mainstream, and she really had some great successes with Lyme's disease back in the day when we ran a page similar to the Phoenix Way, called Barefoot Live. We did an interview with her several times, actually. Lovely lady. Wasn't she, Linz?
She was, yeah. Sorry, I've had to go onto my phone because I'm on 5G because for some reason, even though it says it's full bore internet, we don't have it. But yeah, Barbara Fox overcome her own big challenges as well.
Yeah, indeed.
She
Lovely lady.
She had cancer, and that's how she found natural oils and a more natural way of living. And yeah, she's had some fantastic successes. Haven't heard from her for a while, but lovely lady, Dr. Barbara Fox. Look her up.
Yeah, look her up. Gail, I can't remember where you are, but if you're in the States, that's where Barb is. I'm going to sit next to a light.
It's getting a bit dark. It's getting a bit dark in there.
It's getting a bit dark. Hold fire. Let me go and sit next to a light. Ah!
There you are.
Not that you need to see much of me, I have to say. Hearing me's bad enough, isn't it?
God.
Good Neighbours and The Good Life was my favourite. I don't remember Good Neighbours.
I don't know if I know Good Neighbours, but The Good Life.
But The Good Life, and that was with
Penelope Keith.
Penelope Keith.
Was the next door neighbour.
And Richard somebody.
Who was The Good Life? Richard Bryars.
Richard Bryars. Who was the other lady? Felicity Kendall. That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. So you actually missed my impression of Hyacinth Bouquet because you were supposed to do it and then your internet buggered up. I reckon you did it on purpose.
Go on, then.
You did it on purpose. No, I've done it once. I'm not doing it again.
I can't remember what would you say her famous slide was? Richard.
No, it's when she picked up the phone. Can you not remember?
Yeah, go on.
She'd pick up the phone and she'd say, "The Bouquet residence, lady of the house speaking."
Oh God, she's the only one alive now. They've all died. Yeah, the neighbours have died, and Richard has just recently died. Yeah, she's the only one alive.
That.
Yeah, I know. Mate, so funny and so cringeworthy.
What's the actress's name?
So cringeworthy, but so flipping.
I want to say Patricia Hodge, but it wasn't. It was Patricia.
Who was that? What's that? Routledge.
Ah, right. Okay.
Routledge.
Yeah.
I can never remember the name.
Lindsay enjoying the awesome German internet. Sorry, it's not your fault.
Well,
but it might tell its tale that we might not do a live on Thursday because the internet's got to be good.
Yeah, it has. It has. It's got to be good.
I have a barefoot trimmer sorting them out. That's great. So that's good.
Kabuki Kabuki, where do you come from? That's a great name.
And I don't know whether you saw it. She's 7 days into her barefoot journey. That's
Come
awesome.
on, you'll be great. You've got
Yes.
such a supportive group. I can see you're on YouTube, but if you're on the Phoenix group, stay with us.
Exactly what I said.
Group.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not all barefoot trimmers are the same. However, getting the shoes off and your horse is not tripping already, that's certainly a step in the right direction for sure.
And we've got to remember that and it, God, it's so hard, isn't it? The pathology pathway is an insidious little pathway, and you don't know it's happening. For years it can be happening. Years and years and years, and then we get educated, we work out what's been going wrong, and it's so frustrating and irritating, and all of those horrible guilt feelings you feel. It's not your fault because you weren't doing it, and even if you were doing it, still not your fault, you didn't know. And then when you get onto that, we talk about the healing pathway, and I know it sounds woo-woo, but it isn't. And it can take a long time. If they have been going down this road for years, we must not expect them to turn around in 5 minutes. It takes a long time to heal feet and tissues, and so just stick with us. Take all the wins that you can take, and there will be lots of wins. It's not linear. It doesn't go.
No, there's ups and downs, but it will start. It's on an upward trajectory. I can't say my words today.
Sometimes with difficult words, if I put an accent on it, I can say it. Trajectory. Yes, trajectory. I can't say it otherwise.
Yeah, but you're good at accents. I'm not.
So as long as you are taking the wins, and sometimes you don't know what those wins are, and it's frustrating, it can take so long, but that's because you got knowledge and you want it to just turn around tomorrow because you know what needs to be done. So for instance, we can take a horse and we can get the hoof capsule balanced, P3 in a better position, and we're like, yes, we take an x-ray and we look at it and think, okay, we're good here. But it's got still, the whole hoof capsule has to grow out for a starter, and usually when they've had rotation, the toe has been removed, and even if you can still see toe wall on the ground, be careful because the vertical depth still might not be there. Some people can remove toe without removing wall and just shorten the whole thing upwards, and then it foxes you because you think that's the pillar that you're balancing to, but that just foxes you. Anyway, I'm digressing. The point is that it does take a long time. So stick with us. We're here to support you. Document the journey. That's important. Really document your journey. Take loads of photographs. Yeah, good for you.
Documenting the journey helps you so much because, like we said, the improvement is not linear. So when you start doing this, when you have the dips, you can actually go back and see where you started. And that is really good. A lot of our students do that, and they don't realize that they're doing it. They go through the course, and generally they're there for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 12 months. And then they think, oh, we've got a bit of a blip, or we got a bit of a problem. And then you think, okay, well, then we can work through that. But look where you came from. Oh my goodness. And that's not everybody. It's just on occasion. It is very much a journey, and it depends on the history of that horse. It really does. It's not just about taking the shoes off and doing that. There could be lots of other things going on. And
Yeah, and
If you
it's
haven't got effective balance from
no.
effective balance, the correct balance, the balance that the horse needs for that body, the body will have to compensate somewhere.
And also, yes, and also it's important to say, and this is realistic, let's just be realistic here. You aren't pros, most of you. And so sometimes it takes a while to get balance right.
Yeah.
It takes you a while. You feel like you feel like you're getting there. You are getting improvements, but it isn't. It sometimes isn't going quite the way that you might see it if we're involved. Now we do try and get involved, of course we do, but there's one thing being there on the ground physically, and there's one thing being there over Zoom, and so don't beat yourself up about that either. That's another reason why the journey can do a bit of this, is because it takes you a while to get to where you need to be. We are trying to find ways. We are constantly trying to find better ways of helping you guys see the foot quicker. Not just you, the students and the pros as well, or the students particularly. And it's not easy because we see such a lot of distortion. We see such a lot of distortion all the time. And unless you live and breathe it like we do, we live and breathe this thing, it's not easy to always see the foot through that distortion. So the step one is taking the shoes off, and step two is just understanding that somewhere in there is a naturally balanced foot. You just got to find it, and it might just take a while for you to do that. But step one is the
sure. And I think it's important to say that you just can't shape it into something that looks nice. Just because it looks nice or more appealing to the human eye doesn't make it healthy.
We're at the stage where Garry and I are, what's happening in our work lives with the school at the moment with Garry and I, as well as all the usual stuff that's going on. We're doing finals as well. So we're going through the final. They have 3 parts to their finals, and which is brilliant. We love doing these things, watching them. And they do a presentation, a couple of presentations, and one of our lovely students yesterday, she was telling us how she'd had her horse's hooves x-rayed, and the vet had said, oh, I think you really need to take the toes back. You know, the same old thing, the same old usual boring thing that they always say. I think you need to take the toes back. And she said, you need to get your trimmer to do that, or farrier. And she went, well, that'll be me then, because I do it. And she went, oh. And Jazz briefly explained why. And she said, so, and the vet went, oh, okay. Because you can, honestly, you with the knowledge that most of you know, you can have a conversation that will go above most vets' heads when it comes to understanding the natural foot. And there might be vets watching this thinking, you arrogant buggers, you know, you shouldn't say that. But it is true. Look inside yourself and find, you know, we're not telling porkies, you know it. And so she said to this vet, well, would you mind telling me why you think the tonnage needs to be brought back? And she was expecting the whole strain on the DDFT and lever forces. And the vet just went, well, I just like the look of it. It looks better. And she just went, right, no, not about looks at the moment. It's about function and about soundness. And my horses are doing better than they ever have. Yep. I mean, there are so many stories we could tell you. I could fill many books on all the stories that we hear from owners, and you get to read a lot of them on the Phoenix group when you're on the Phoenix group. I mean, what about the one the other day? I've been chatting to the lady today, where she took her, where she's had
excuse me, where she'd had all these awful problems, rotation, etc., with her horse. She was getting the heels down, letting that vertical depth grow, and therefore having a longer toe. But she needed an X-ray, because that's the right thing to do, which is so crazy with the professionals, with these vets, because we're trying to do the right thing. We need to see inside just to make absolutely sure that those owners are on the right track. So she goes away and she has an X-ray taken, or she goes to have an X-ray taken, and the vet took the X-ray and then flipped out about the state of the feet. Didn't listen to the owner, and this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened many times, and it is something for you to be wary of. And I know many of you are, and I know it's terrifying, because the vet said those toes have got to come off. Now, in that moment, what happens in that moment? Do you in that moment think, because I speak about this briefly on a recording that Richard and Hyacinth did in the car, in that moment, do you think to yourself, well, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I have got it wrong, maybe the vet's right, shit, I don't know now, because the vet's adamant that the toe needs to come off because I must be straining the GDFT. Oh God. Well, I don't want the toe to come off. Please don't do that, because actually my horse is sounder now than he's ever been. But then the vet insisted. The vet called up whoever it was, the farrier, her pet farrier, and he turned up. Now, talking to the lady today, she said to me that the farrier even said, I don't want to go as far as what the vet is saying. I don't feel comfortable with it. And he said the heels need to come down. Now, this is a twisted equine world,
isn't it?
Because the farrier said, I want to bring the heels down a bit more. And the vet was so adamant that the DDFT would be causing problems that she insisted on leaving the heels, which were in themselves a little bit too high, because we'd seen on the X-ray, and absolutely hacking the toe off. The horse was, of course, instantly crippled. Instantly. And we've got the videos on the Phoenix group to show, to prove that. And I might be putting them up on the public page for all to see. Crippled. Why? Why was the horse crippled? Okay, so let's look at why that horse. And when I mean crippled, I mean crippled immediately.
Yeah. Spending more time laying down than standing up.
I couldn't walk.
Yeah.
So what things have happened there? So he's overly hacked the toe off because he's trying to appease the vet. So he's thinned the sole, which already was just gaining depth. He took off all the hoof wall, so lamini was showing, and he shortened the capsule really tight, really short, at least a good probably 1.5 inches shorter than that horse had on the ground prior to him chopping that foot off, or chopping the toe off. And he left the heels. So you have this incredibly short surface area, and you have a P3 that already wasn't quite in the right position. He's taken toe wall away, he's taken sole away, and that's pitched P3 forward. And it only has to be a couple of mil. We're not talking a centimetre, it only has to be a couple of mil. And by leaving the heels and doing that, he put incredible torque into that capsule, which is going the opposite way to the way that the anatomy inside the capsule is needed.
Yeah,
So the horse was completely lame. Now, of course, she came and aired her not just frustrations. I mean, this is real welfare stuff we're talking about here. And the vet phoned her up, because I think the vet, was a bit worried, and the vet phoned her up, and she basically said to her, I mean, I'd have probably said a lot more than this lovely lady did, but the lovely lady said to her, my horse is crippled. My horse can't walk now. He was doing so well. We've gone back to before square one. And the vet just said, I'm sorry. She tried to explain why she did it. And when the owner said, but it's not helped, has it? And she's a lot worse. The vet doesn't know what to do with themselves at that point then. They honestly are lost because their belief system has been shattered by the observation that they have right in front of them, which is a crippled horse. He walked in fine, had the x-rays, walked out crippled. Well, she knows she had a hand in that. And she also knows, without a shadow of a doubt, she didn't really know what she was talking about. But she followed the protocols. And the very dangerous thing now, of course, is that, and she's had a barefoot trimmer come back. They've had the heels, they've taken the heels down a little bit more to try and stabilize P3 in a better position. But the fight that they now have to keep P3 in that position, because those heels will keep growing and the toe won't, and they've taken a lot of toe off. We're talking months. Have they set how long have they set that horse back? I'd say 10 months.
Yeah, that's what I
Easy
would say too.
And in that 10 months, if not a bit longer, P3 is now hugely compromised from osteonecrosis. This is sickening, damaging abuse.
It is. But they don't see it as, because the protocols they say that they followed is, well, this is within the range of what we're allowed to do. And until that changes, this is gonna be a reoccurring story, isn't it?
Oh, everywhere, all over the world, right now.
But like I've said, it's been
all the time.
it's a numbers game. One day, somebody will do this to the wrong person.
They will.
And they will have the photographic pictures, videos, documentation of how the horse was before and how it was after. And then somebody will take them to court.
They will.
Then when that happens, that will set a precedent.
It will.
Then the equine world will have to start listening, because word will get out.
It's a really,
it's so, and that sounds really harsh, doesn't it? That it's almost,
and it doesn't need to go there.
We're wishing that to happen. We're not wishing that to happen at all. But for people to wake up and see what's right in front of their bloody eyes, excuse my language, nothing is going to change.
No.
It's so bloody frustrating.
And think about this for a moment. Think about this. You lot get elated with the changes that happen and the knowledge that you've got, and how you are all moving on, and the Phoenix group is growing, and we're meeting more people, and we're helping more people. And Garry said it's a numbers game. Everything is growing. Think of how difficult how easy it was. How relatively easy it was for you to have that mindset change or that change, but how difficult it's going to be to stop. It's like stopping the Queen Mary, because you've got to stop that ship before you start turning that ship around. And stopping that ship,
that's hard.
That's so hard,
because there's
so
so much fuel behind it.
Oh
there's
my God.
So much fuel. You're trying to put the brakes on this ship, and you can't, because the more that you try and put your foot on the brake, the more that the fuel is pushing it forward. It's this backwards and forwards all of the time.
You can't. It's going to. I mean, I'm not trying to, dampen our resolve in any which way. We are going to fight our way through it, and the only way through this is through it.
Yes.
We have to go through it. That we can't circumnavigate it. We have to go through it. But think about what things have to change for this to become a thing, a common way of rehabbing horses, a way of stopping horses having these injuries, this abuse, for want of a better word, having their feet imbalanced, the capsules imbalanced. What do we have to do this? Well, first of all, we've got to standardize hoof care, but that's going to be almost impossible. It's not impossible, but it kind of feels like it is, because the world is full of people who have opinions and methods. They've all got their own methods. They've all got their own opinions. It'll be a nightmare. So you can't look to them to change it, because they are looking up to science, what they think is true science.
Yeah.
And so they're looking towards the vets, right? And the veterinary researchers, etc. But in order for them to change, they need proof. Well, isn't it interesting that we're providing the proof, but they don't want to look our way, because one of the things that keeps the money flowing in an equine practice, of course, is drugs. You need to sell quite a lot of them. And who are you linked to? Well, you're linked to pharmaceutical companies. And we know in the medical world that they are king when it comes to being able to afford research, because they're the ones that got all the money, putting money into research, etc. This isn't us saying stuff just to frighten you, or just to, you just to say, oh, we've heard all the same old thing. It's just people going on about pharma, and it's not. This is true. This is really difficult. We can't stop the ship easily because too many people are invested in it. Pathology makes people rich. Pathology brings in money. And I'll give you, for instance, one of the pro that we were talking to yesterday, or the student that we were talking to yesterday. She's got 3 horses, and every single one of those horses had a problem, and that ranged from rotation positively to rotation negatively, from an MPA to tendon damage, all sorts of things, all born out of crappy hoof care and living in a system, or horses living in a system where they were in a very traditional livery yard. Now, the vets wanted to do tenotomies. They said the NPA horse had to, which was all about just the right balance trim, but they didn't see it like that. So the negative palmar angle horse they wanted in wedges and then stuck in a stable for 10 to 11 months, losing her spirit, going out of her mind. The things that the tenotomy was going to be on the horse that had rotation, the things that this vet wanted to do to these horses, and this lovely girl, even before she met us, wouldn't have it. Thank God, but she did put the MPA horse into a stable, and it was in there for God knows how many months. And then she came on a 3-day workshop, and she genuinely thought she was just coming to learn about hooves. She didn't know that we were kind of barefoot people or anything like that. And for the first couple of days, she just thought, oh my God, what am I doing here? And then on the day 3, she said to me, Lindsay, you said to me, look, you don't have to believe me, but just believe what you're seeing in your horses. Believe your horses. You know if something isn't right. And she went home, she cried a lot, and she got those horses out of the stable. She let them out that night. She got their shoes off by hook or by crook. She managed to get them off. She learned the little bit that she'd learned from us, which is like you guys. She learned to trim a little bit. And then began the journey of her finding her own piece of land, which she now has, and she's got a track. And these horses have gone from strength to strength to strength. She nearly lost them. If that vet had had his way, he would have intervened, cut tendons, put them to sleep because that was happening too. And not just that, when she decided, this is even on the good Queen Mary, the other things that happen is that people around you believe in the vet too, because they don't have the knowledge. And so she had a couple of girls at her livery yard sit her down on a bench and basically talk to her for 20 minutes and tell her how cruel she was, that she should be putting her horses to sleep because of what the vet said. It's incredible that a system that's so out of whack and so wrong has got such a massive grip on the equine world. So that Queen Mary, that ship, Queen Phoenix, is going to take an awful long time. We're slowing it a little bit at the moment.
Yeah.
We are slowing it a little bit. We're slowing it down. But we've got to stop it. We've got to turn it around and set off in a different direction. I hope that we get some of that way while Garry and I are still walking the earth. But I'm not sure. It's a numbers game. And it's not about the professionals. This is about the owners.
Yeah,
it's not about the professionals. It's you guys. You're going to change it.
Just to finish off what our student was saying about those 3 horses, she actually bumped into those 2 ladies on her livery yard.
Yeah.
And
ironically, Garry, tell them what, because ironically, she was asked to go to the livery yard. Now she's far more experienced, to give some advice.
Yes, she was asked, and then she bumped into these 2 ladies that were adamant and sat her down after she'd been to the 3-day course to have her horses put to sleep. And they turned around and said, "Have you still got the horses?" And she said, "Oh, yes," and showed them videos trotting around the track, happy as Larry. And they said, "Oh, right," and just walked away.
Oh, God.
It's ridiculous how people can be so ingrained in their own beliefs, but they can't actually see what's right in front of them.
No, and
Human psychology is so blooming complicated. It really is.
Oh
it doesn't need to be.
No, and the fact that they just walked away, and we've seen this scenario play out 100,000 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they don't want to learn, they don't want to know, they don't want to hear it, they don't want to know how good they're doing. You'd think, wouldn't you, that you'd go, "Oh my God, that was amazing! God, they were literally on death's door. How did you do that?" No. They would have preferred it if she'd had them put to sleep.
If they were right.
Because keeping them the way she has, bringing them back from the brink, has proven them wrong. People don't like to be proved wrong.
They don't.
And when people go on about us,
a lot of people don't.
And when people go on about us and the Phoenix Way, etc., and all kinds of, I mean, they say all kinds of weird propaganda-ish things. These are the people that don't like us. Usually, the people that have been banned and blocked because they want to try and push their methods for whatever reason, and again because they don't want to be proven wrong. And these people who are say all kinds of things about us, and we have to keep saying all the time to you, all the time, this isn't a method. I haven't made this up. Garry's not made this up. We're not going around the world going, "Well, we think that you know, you need to shape it this way or that way, or rock at the heels, or widen the heels, or take a bit more toe." Or no, we're not. This is not a method. I'm not a guru, neither is Garry. We're just 2 people who have been out in the field doing this for a long time, watching that Queen Mary ship go full steam ahead, and cause immense harm to horses around the world, immense harm, all down to hoof care. But what surrounds that hoof care are all the myths and misbeliefs that come with it. And it's all usually subjective, a load of subjective nonsense that people wrap up in word salad, and it means nothing. It's very simple. You just follow the horse's anatomy, you follow
And not
what
to
the horses
mention
know.
all the money that is being made out of pathology. There's no money in health. There's only money in ill health.
People need to make money, don't they? They
They do.
want to make money.
They do. Yeah.
Again,
exactly.
I don't know how we stop this. Well, I do. It is a numbers game. It's owners, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. If you think about it, and when I put about Laminitis Inc., if you think about it, if your equine practice and your research lab is making a deal of cash with these animals that continually keep coming through the doors with rotated P3s constantly, every day, every single day, you've got another horse coming in, which you are exclaiming is laminitis caused by metabolic reasons, even though there's no evidence to prove that. What happens if we then turn that round and we stop that because everybody understands it's hoof care and we keep the horse's hoof balanced to their natural constants and we stop it? We've solved it. What happens then to those clinics? What happens then to those people who were pushing painkillers and Flozins and diabetes drugs, etc.? What happens to them when they're pushing their heart bar shoes, their casts, their rocker shoes? What happens then? The cash cow, which is laminitis, aka horses suffering, stops, dries up.
Yeah.
Do you think they want that to happen? Of course
they don't. And also, is there an industry? Well, you've said it before. You have a saying, don't you? I'm glad these people don't fly planes.
Yeah.
Because they'd be falling out the sky left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
The amount of horses. I tried to do some research a little while ago, and to see where I could find the information where horses were put to sleep because of rotational laminitis, and where are those figures, and have they gone up in the last 10 years, down in the last 10 years? Where is that information? So you can have that data. Let's face it, they're all scientists. They're all saying, I want data, I want this, I want that. But they actually haven't got any of their own.
No,
They've got none. Because
None.
how can it be that even if in the last 10 years, the numbers of rotational laminitis has stayed the same? I have to say, I actually think it's gone up. But even if it has stayed the same, how is there any lessons learnt?
None.
There's none.
None of this data is centralised.
That is criminal.
None of it.
That is a welfare issue.
It's massive, and
It's massive.
it, when these people go, oh, you've got to think of welfare when Hoofing Marvellous are teaching people to leave long toes. It's almost a deliberate, obtuse. They're just picking on something that they think that people will be frightened of and scared of, and it looks ugly, so nobody's going to go along with it. That's what they're saying. Know that that's what people are saying. Oh, well, look, we don't have to worry about Hoofing Marvellous because nobody's going to nobody's going to come on board with those awful, hideous long toes. What, you mean the ones that you caused, that we're just growing out those hideous, distorted capsules for those poor, crippled horses? So they don't think that we're a threat, I think, but we kind of are. And isn't it interesting when HM are mentioned now, and HM's not me. It's not Garry, although a lot of people like to think it is me. It isn't. It's not me. It's not Garry. It's a great group of people, a lot of people helping a lot of horses. And whenever HM is mentioned on a post, it goes wild. So lovely Bex Nan, she's a great friend of ours, and
Lovely lady.
incredible lady, does some incredible work with her dissections and a font of knowledge when it comes to anatomy. I mean, if you can ever get to one of Bex Nan's dissections, please do, because they are incredible. And she doesn't just dissect a horse and show you what just, and this is, this is this and this is that. She's looking for specific things that show that these horses have been damaged, basically, through things that we do. So she very much aligns with us. And she mentioned a couple of days ago over the weekend that she helped her mare by following Hoofing Marvellous, and she tried God knows how many different methods and nothing worked. And then of course she just started following the foot, and funnily enough it started to work. And the engagement she got on that post on her page and the amount of comments, it went wild. If you mention HM anywhere now, it goes wild. Good. That's a good thing, because what that means is people are thinking.
Yeah.
People are thinking and going, oh, something's happening. There's a change. A change is coming down the tracks with old Queen Mary. Just mix my metaphors there. But it is coming. The change is coming, but it's a numbers game. And Becky's just said, what did she say here? She says, owners will help change the world. There are more of them than vets, and that's true.
It is very much so.
That is true. And we have to get to you. We have to get to you guys. And it's not, I tell you something, it's not difficult to get to you guys, because you keep coming with horses that are crippled, unsound, and poorly and suffering. And you will keep coming.
And you're open-minded. And just like our student that we were talking about earlier, you don't have to trust us.
No.
You just have to trust the process and observe your horse. And observation is the first rule of science.
Totally.
How come all of those professionals out there are not observing their failures and recognizing them?
They don't want to recognize the rehabs, though, because what are the rehabs saying? What are our rehabs saying? 1, we don't need the drugs. 2, it's a problem with hoof care. Immediately, what has that just done to the equine world? What is that? It's shattered the cash cow. So I'm not going to look. You're not going to find Laminitis papers that have critically assessed the hoof capsule in any positive way. There aren't any anyway at the moment, but if they come in under pressure from us, they will be assessed by all the wrong people, of course, and it will be skewed, and the data will be skewed, and there'll be a big bloody spin on it, like there always is. And they will say awful things about us because they want everybody to be terrified. I think they just thought it was a bloody great joke initially, and they were like, oh, nobody's going to ever go along with the whole long toe thing. Oh my God, no, that's not going to happen. And then more and more owners are going, well, actually, yeah, it does look a bit crazy, but my horse that had awful rotation and high heels is doing really well now for the first time in years and is trotting around all over the place. So I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah,
they can't get that. The professionals, etc., are pulling their hair out, going, "This can't be true. This can't be real." So, hold fast, my friends. We are doing an amazing thing, but it is going to take a long time to stop that ship.
Just putting it out there, we end up having many, many vets And I don't want it to come across that we're getting at vets. We're getting at the system and the education. That's what
Yeah.
we're getting at. It's not personal. It's not, because what you're doing isn't working, and we're proving that.
Yeah.
Now, that's the truth. That's not arrogance or anything like that. But you end up having specialisms in everything medical, whether you're talking human or veterinary. So you can have a vet that specializes in dentistry and teeth, and you can have other specialisms. One of the most popular is lameness.
Yeah. That's the one that brings the most money.
Yet, none of them are hoof capsule experts. Now, wouldn't it be nice if there were some young, open-minded vets out there that wouldn't mind studying the horse's foot? And we're very lucky to have 2 of them already.
We are.
And they will probably, because I haven't heard of any more, will probably be the first vets to be hoof capsule experts. That is very exciting, but it's not enough. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to belittle it. It's a bloody good start, but it's not enough. That's going to slow Mary down a little bit.
That's right. And you know something, all of those people, all those hoof care practitioners and vets out there who are dealing with lameness and trying to rehab these feet, and the difference between them and us is that we are prepared to say to the world, for God's sake, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing these animals suffering and these owners suffering. We've got to look at what happened before the horse started to suffer, not be reactive and sell all the drugs and the painkillers and the heart bar shoes and the rockers and the clogs, which are not magical, because it's the trim that's important. We've got to find out what happened before that horse got sick. Nobody wants to know. Nobody cares except us.
I think that before humans took these amazing animals into the domesticity and used them for transport, do you think that they suffered with the plethora of problems, ill health, pathology that they do now?
No.
Of course they didn't.
No.
We can do so much better.
No, you only have to start looking back in the history books, and some of you might like to do this. Go and find out when laminitis really became a thing, when they really started talking about laminitis, when they really started discussing horses with rotation. It's only been in the last 250 years, a couple of 100 years. And that's because it's to do with the interventions that have been happening in horses' feet. This isn't something that has been caused metabolically. It is horses, and I mean, don't get me wrong, please don't misinterpret what we're saying here. Diet and management is super important, and we do not want horses to be sick. It's very, very important. It can cause horrible, hideous metabolic issues. But horses have eaten grass for centuries. The horses get fat. They do, and they get compromised. But unless those feet have been screwed up, they will continue to just get fat and metabolically compromised and won't have any other damage to their feet other than, well, they might get a bit of thrush and they might get a bit of, funky feet. Horses have been surviving for a very long time. they've been screwed up by terrible hoof care.
And we haven't learned any lessons. Well, we have,
Well,
but
we
the rest of the equine world are either part the way there or not at all.
No, and there'll be no convincing them because it's too much of a cash cow. So we have to change it from the owners up. It's absolutely pointless. It's absolutely waste of time working with professionals. And if any professional comes out onto the internet and disses HM, walk away fast, because what you know is that person is absolutely stuck in the system. They're another cog in the system. They're in it. They're well in it. Very well convinced by the story. It's been a story. It's not true.
Yeah,
it's not true. The real truth is the shitty hoof care, and we've got to stop it. It's you will do that. You will do that. We will guide you, but you will do that. We're like the Greenpeace vessel trying to get in front of Queen Mary and stop her. That's what we're like. That's what we're doing. We're trying to raise awareness. And with that, we put a target on our backs, and we know that. But that's life. Because somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
Somebody's got to.
For the love of the horses. We've rabbited on now for an hour and 11 minutes.
Sorry about that.
That was good to get that off our chest. Are we going to go through messages? How many is there?
Quite a lot.
Because I haven't eaten yet, and I've got a pack, and I've got to get up at 5:30.
No, we'll let Garry go. Let him go and get something to eat, and we'll see you. Hopefully, we'll see you on Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow, pal. We'll pick you up in Cologne.
Okay.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Have a good day. I'll see you.
and
I'll see you tomorrow.
And everyone else.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
joining.
Bye.
We had a bit of a rant, but it needs to happen. Take care now.
Bye.
See ya.